Hey guys, I hope you're having a good day, a good morning, a good evening, whenever you're watching this. So today, I'm going to jump right in. I am back with another Hero Arts Kit Club. You know, it's that time of the month. And so I wanted to start, and I don't know if you have been on and noticed any changes, what they have done, but it's really kind of cool what they have done. So a few things about it. So this month's Kit Club, and I'll get into it in a minute, but this one is called a soup. There it is. And so what they have did is they've actually lowered the prices on some of the few things in the Kit Club this month. And so this is supposed to be more promoted in January, but they thought they'd go ahead and release it earlier in December. So I have made notes on how the things have changed with the Kit Cups. So what will be done is the Kit Club, some of the changes that will be, first of all, the card kit now is $45 instead of $60. So that's a big change. The cling stamp stayed as $20. The die set is $25. The stamp and cut is $27.50. And the layering stencil is $17.50. But what really changed was like the whole studio, which is now $75 down from $130. So I thought that was really cool. So it's kind of worth, what they're saying is it's basically worth to get the whole Kit Club if you're wanting it for that particular month, and you save quite a lot by doing it that way instead of paying it individually. Of course, join on any one that you want. If you see you like the cling stamp that month, go ahead and get that, or if you like the layering stencil. But if you join any of the Kit Clubs, you know, you still will get what hasn't changed. You'll get 15% off of purchases and things like that. So it's definitely worth it. Kit Club is usually open from the 1st to the 27th. You can sign up. You're normally charged on the 3rd of the month for it. And I think I've seen the Kit Clubs kind of get sent out kind of mid-month. It just all depends. I mean, you know, whenever they can get to it, they will send it out to you as quickly as they can. But of course, what I get from them is samples. So the first one that or that I received, I get enough from them just to be able to do something and get away with things and, you know, make samples. So what I got sent, which this month was, and I apologize, I printed stuff down and just forgot to pick it up from the printer before I came home. So let me grab that. So the first thing I received this month is the stamp and die. And so that one, as you see, looks like this, but I thought I would still print out pictures so that you could see it better. So the stamp and the die, and actually let me zoom in just a little bit closer. There you go. Is this lovely little kit. So it makes a really lovely like cup of noodles and stuff, and here's the die that goes along with it, as you can see. But it's got stamps there that says up super, sending a, and then it's got love ya, soon, feel better, cup of love, and then it's got like the chopsticks in it, and then the little noodles and things like that, and then flowers. And so I just think this is going to be a really cute set to play with. So that's the stamp and die of the month. And then next, and I just like other individual pictures. So there's that one that I received this month. And then the next thing I received is this guy. So I thought it'd be fun to always, you know, before I get started, of course, making my own, of what it would look like. So this is the lovely stencil of the month, and you get 4 in here this time for layering stencils. That's going to help build this really cute background scene of like kind of cans of soup, mainly kind of looks like Campbell's soup, as we're all familiar with. And so I think that's going to be really fun to play with. And so there's how that looks, the stencil of the month. And then of course I get always the very cool big stencil, the clean stamp stencil of the month, or clean stamp of the month. And so it looks like this. Or as you can see, it looks like that. And of course, when you turn it over, there's how it's a big rubber stamp, clean rubber stamp. And so that'll be fun to play with, to make and use for backgrounds and things. So I am going to go ahead, get some inks and some paper, and get to cutting here. And as I always say, get your groove on. Okay, so as you can see, I had some fun kind of stenciling. I did a little bit of coloring off screen and just a little bit of things like that. And so I have to admit, on this particular time when I was doing this, I struggled a little bit. So what I did was I went into the color cube, and I don't know if you have these or not. These are great little tools for if you struggle sometimes with color, or you just need some kind of inspiration, wherever you get your inspiration from. It may not be from this, it could be from anything. A picture, a photo you're looking at that day that gave you some inspiration, a thought, whatever. Anyway, and so I was struggling with color, couldn't figure out. So as I've mentioned before, I tend to gravitate towards dark tones. I'm more of an earthy tone person, so I like the burgundies, the reds, the dark greens, the teals, the purples. So, you know, those are some of my silver. I like gold too, but I'm more of the silver girl. But just anyway, I know what colors I tend to gravitate. So, of course, this is always my first one. So, I said, okay, let me reach for my color cube, see what I can see. And if you're not familiar, Sarah Renee Clark came out with a newer edition of her color cubes. They're made of wood. Each one holds 250 cards in it and so forth. And so there's something to check out. But what she did was, in the newer edition, she took photographs of actual photos of like cakes, and I mean that's just one set. She goes into, she's got cyber, you know, punk or cyber kind of themes if you're looking at this kind of thing for inspiration. I mean, just all kinds. She's got even one here for fantasy, you know, if you're into, you know, that kind of stuff, or nature or stuff, fashion, just it just all depends. So anyway, I started looking through and immediately pulled out, this one seems to be one that really kind of got my juices going, especially with this month's theme of like the cup of soup and all of that. And we all know the cup of ramens that we all like occasionally to eat, especially if those of us when we get sick, that's kind of what we only want. But anyway, so when I saw this, I was just like, okay, I can actually use that to make some things. So my cards are off of kind of like this color scheme here with the orange, the red, the green, and a little bit of sage, but I kind of went a little different. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start. So the reveal, the first one is going to be this one, the stencil of the month. So what I did was I took the stencil of the month, and you get, there are 4 in here, and that 4 layers of different things. One does like this, may do this section, may do this, and may do this. So that's how it is, and you just choose your colors. I got my alternate inks and just kind of went to town trying to base it and keep it within these colors. So I used reds and kind of like the Campbell soup kind of color thing. I mean, I think this is what the stencil is based off of, looks like, but it could be anything. So just kind of did it. Mine's kind of abstract, not exact, but I think it came together good. Stamped out the sentiment from the die and stencil, feel better, and then just of course use the die to cut it out. Here's the stamp and the die. And that's how card number 1 came to be about. Using the stencil and the die and stamp set. There's card number 1 based off of this. I'm going to keep that there as so you just can remember what my color themes are. And then card number 2 is going to be this lovely little card. So still kept with like the red and, you know, a little bit of the orange and a little bit of the green, trying to pull it together, and of course black. But I wanted to do something just a little bit more simple, so I used the cling stamp for this to make like it's sitting on a table. So I used the cling stamp, which is those cute little polka dots, and did that and stamped it out, and then just cut it and then just mount it together. And then of course I cut out the chopsticks. And then I just simply just inked them and then just left them like that and used it like that. The cup, simply stamped it with red ink. This was, I think, Heartbeat from Altenew. And then stamped out the Cup of Love. And what I did for, as far as the framing, I took the opposite side of the die and out of a silver metallic and just cut it out that way, and then just mounted it up just to kind of give it a little frame different look. Hey, we have to look beyond our our dies, and so that's what I did. And so that's just how that happened to be. Cut out the stamped out the little peas and carrots and stuff that's usually in the noodles, and then just simply use my Olo markers to color them. And that's how this little card came to be about. And of course, backed it on my favorite silver. And that's how this little card, and then of course stamped the little noodles and just kind of put them there. And that's how that came to be about. That's card number 2. Card number 3 was kind of like the leftover stuff. So here's card number 3. So when I did it, I stamped out a red one and a black one of the cup of noodles. And then I stamped out, oh, totally forgot, I had also stamped out the actual what it would be, when the noodles have boiled and everything. And then I just I had some leftover of the peas and carrots and things, and then of course stamped the chopsticks in black this time. And then still had, after I cut out the big piece from this and stamped it, just put that, but this time I put a little gold border to kind of break it up, just to bring in some other little metallic interest in there. And then same thing, stamped out Your Super, and then just cut out the again using the other bottom part of this to give it a little frame, put it on, matted it on some silver metallic cardstock, and that's how this came to be about. So I had fun with this little set, and I want to say thank you to Hero Arts for sending this to me so that I could have fun making a couple feel better cards. I do know a few folks who've been kind of under the weather, and so I may just go ahead and send these cards out. There's nothing in them, so that's how this kind of all happened to be about. So again, using just this really cute card from the Color Cube stack just for inspiration, especially when you need it and you're kind of like blah, you don't know what to do. Great inspiration. So that's how these lovely cards came to be about, based off of that. So I hope you enjoyed. I want to say thank you. Stay tuned. Yes, I am still coming on with other videos as promised. And so just keep a lookout for those. And I will see you in the next one.